Hi, my name is Alessandra and I'm making today's video to chat to you about Halloween, the new moon, like what a new moon is, what a full moon is, just really briefly, what a blue moon is briefly, and finally what the full blue moon in Taurus on Halloween means for us and what energy that will be bringing towards us and how we can best use that energy to our advantage to propel ourselves forwards in life. So Halloween is a Celtic pagan tradition and festival that started in Ireland, I believe, and it's all about honouring people who have passed over, especially people that have passed over since the last Halloween. And it actually has a different name. I wrote it down so I won't forget. So my first language is English, so I kept on reading it as Samhain, but I do believe in Gaelic it's pronounced Samhain. I'm pretty sure. So that's what it was called. And I think this translates roughly to summer is ending or darkness is coming, something along those lines. Which is interesting because the day after Samhain, I'm just going to call it Halloween, sorry. The day after Halloween, for the Celtic people, the following day was actually their New Year's Day. And their New Year's Day was when it was a transition from summer to winter. So it was kind of like the first day of winter, like darkness is descending, so to speak. Now, it was also a day to celebrate the Lord of Darkness, and I believe that his name was also Samhain as well, but they would call him the Lord of Darkness sometimes as well. So also during this time in Celtic culture, the priest or the Druid priest or priestesses were very high in the community. They were very much looked up to. They were very, very important people. And their belief was that on Halloween, that the veil between all realms, including spiritual to physical, so we're in the physical realm, so that the veil was very, very thin to the point where it was perhaps non-existent during Halloween, or it was just so thin that the veil could actually be breached, so spirits could just sort of go in and out as they pleased. So they also believed that because the veil was so thin, that it was the best day of the year to do fortune telling. So a lot of people would on Halloween go to their Druid priest or priestess and get like a yearly reading, like what's going to happen to me from today till the next Halloween, because the veil is so thin that you can tap into that spiritual chip. Now, also because the veil was so thin and breachable and spirits would be coming through, sometimes spirits, they can be a bit tricksters, I want to say. So to avoid being tricked by spirits, to avoid being abducted, and to avoid being harmed by spirits, they would do certain things, like they would leave offerings of their harvest out the front of their house, or perhaps near their crops at that time, as offering, to not be tricked or to not be hurt by the spirits. They would also dress up in costume, which a lot of people know Halloween for today is dressing up, going trick-or-treating. So they dress up in costume so that the spirits wouldn't recognize them for who they are. And I do believe the costumes would normally be animals that would live native to that area. So a spirit going by would be like, oh, that's not a human being, that's such and such animal. I'm not gonna waste my time on them. I'll find a human to pester or something like that. So it was also expected, because spirits could travel in and out, that ancestors would also come through as well, which was like a lovely thing. And also another thing that they would do to ward off the negative spirits would be to carve to carve turnips and potatoes, and sometimes to even put coal in there and leave it at the front of their house or where they were. It was just a way of just warding off those spirits. And carving pumpkins only became a thing when people from Ireland migrated down to America and were like, oh, pumpkins are bigger and they're easier to carve rather than potatoes and turnips, because pumpkins are actually native to America. So that's basically what All Hallows Eve, or I guess Samhain, was to the Celtics at that time. And for me, a lot of that resonates with me, and I intuitively feel is correct as well. I really do feel that leading up to Halloween, and especially on Halloween, that the veil is extremely thin. And I do also believe that the spirits can travel to and from realms quite easily on Halloween, leading up to and also descending as well those few days. So to me, it is also a really good day to, if you have any passed over loved ones and you want to connect to them, I really do feel like Halloween is a very magical day to do so. Of course, if you were going to attempt something like that, I would heavily advise to cleanse the room in which you want to make contact with something like sage, to cleanse with sage. So you would burn that and do a cleansing chant as well. Or perhaps you might do it with some Palo Santo wood, just way to cleanse the negative energy or spirits out of that area. Again, I would really get advised to do some form of cleansing before you try to make contact, because you know it is a day where spirits might want to trick you, so I would definitely recommend to cleanse. Another thing, just a little side note thing that I do, is I've got some lavender here. So when I cleanse with sage, I actually will put like fresh lavender or dried lavender. I will slide it into the sage and I will burn it along with the sage. Side note, lavender actually protects your plants from being eaten by certain bugs, so I don't know, I feel like I should say that. So it's a good plant to ward things away. Again, Halloween is a highly vibrational spiritual day, and again, I really do believe that we can tap into magical spiritual power the heaviest on All Hallows Eve. And I really do feel like it's the best day to do fortune telling, and I also believe it's the best day to perform any magical ritual, such as spells, any incantations, fortune telling, perhaps also trying to connect to your guides to get guidance from them, and also to do fortune telling through yourself, like through meditation as well. So our dreams leading up to Halloween and also on Halloween, they will be very potent, very, very magical, and they'll be very telling. You might find that you're having a recurring dream or a dream about the same thing. So that's really important messages for you, so do take note of that. You probably have some understanding of why you're dreaming about something. Okay, so now we've talked about Halloween. I also want to talk very quickly about what a new moon and a full moon is. So, this knowledge, if you don't already have it, will help your understanding of the blue full moon and why that is so important. So, what is a new moon? A new moon is a call from the universe for us to grow. So it's a time in the lunar cycle that is the best time to set intentions for what you want to manifest. It's a really good time to plant seeds, literally in the ground. Plants will grow better if you plant them on the new moon, in my experience anyway. And it's just a really good time for new beginnings. So the energy of the new moon will last for 2 weeks until the following full moon. So what is a full moon? So a full moon is the best time in the lunar cycle for us to bring balance back into our lives. It's a really good time to release any energy that you're no longer wanting to hold within yourself. It's also a really good time to just release what's no longer serving you, really, and it's a time to cleanse and purify, really. So the sun will sit directly opposite the moon when it's a full moon. That's why it looks full, because the moon's always there. It's always that perfect kind of circle. It just looks complete when it's the new moon because the sun is directly opposite it. So the moon is just reflecting the sun's light outwards. that's why it looks so full. So this is a really good symbolism of yin and yang, light and dark, divine feminine, which to me is the moon, and divine masculine, which to me is the sun, being in balance with each other. That's why it's such a good time to cleanse. So that's really symbolic of that. Now, the new moon will always be in the majority zodiac sign of that calendar month. And the full moon will always be in the opposing zodiac of the zodiac that the sun is currently in. So I've actually done some charts, so I will show that to you now just to explain more, because I'm very visual, so I feel like that might help if you didn't quite understand that.
Okay, so I'm very visual, as I said before, so I've done this little chart to show you guys what I meant by the zodiacs being opposite to each other. So here we have Libra. So majority of the month the sun is in Libra. Then the opposite sign to Libra is Aries. So like how I said, the full moon will always be the opposing zodiac to the zodiac that the sun's currently in. So the beginning and majority of October, the majority zodiac the sun was in was Libra. And then the full moon we had on the 1st of October is directly opposite Libra, which is Aries. So now we're in Scorpio. So that's why the full moon, while the sun is in Scorpio, will be in Taurus. So if it was, if we were in, let's just say August, and the majority of August is Leo, the full moon while the sun is in August will be the full moon in Aquarius. So I just wanted to make that chart just to show you guys how the opposing sun sign, the full moon will be in that opposite zodiac. Okay, so like I said, how the new moon will always be in the majority zodiac sign that the sun is in, and the full moon will be the opposite to the sign that the sun is in. So this is the symbol for Libra. So as you can see, in October, the majority of the sun is in Libra up until about the 22nd. So the new moon will always be the same sign that the sun is in. So the new moon, while the sun is in Libra, the new moon will also be in Libra. Whereas the full moon will always be the opposite to the sign that the sun is in. So the full moon on the 1st of October was opposite to Libra, which was Aries, full moon in Aries. When we get down here, between the 22nd to the 24th of October, the sun moves from being in Libra to being in Scorpio. So here we can see the sun in Scorpio. I put it down as the 23rd because that's the day that I feel that energy has transitioned. Now the full moon will be the opposite sign to Scorpio, which is Taurus, and we've got the blue full moon on Halloween. So just to make that a bit simpler, whatever sign the sun is currently in, the new moon will always be that sign. Then the full moon will always be opposite to the sign that the sun is in.
Okay, so now what is a blue moon? So a blue moon is the second full moon in one calendar month. Now this happens every 3 to 2.5 years. So to me, the energy of the blue moon will last until the next blue moon. The same way as the new moon lasts for 2 weeks until the full moon, and the full moon lasts for 2 weeks until the next new moon. So to me, a blue moon, I just intuitively feel like the energy you put out on the blue moon will last that 2.5 to 3 years. That's why it's really important to put out positivity around this time. So the blue moon is a very high vibrational spiritual day. The same once in the blue moon. So basically the blue moon brings us energy where we can manifest and attract our wishes and our dreams to come true, which is really amazing and quite lovely and very special, really high, potent, powerful energy. So the moon won't literally be the color blue. I kind of hope that it will, because it falls on Halloween this year, so that'll just be really spooky and fun. But it shouldn't, but it would be cool if it did do that. So The full blue moon to me is like a new moon and a full moon in the one time. So it's, full moons are normally about releasing and letting go, but the blue moon is about attracting and manifesting your wishes and your dreams. So to me, it's a really good time to release what is no longer serving you. Then once you've done your releasing rituals, such as writing down things you no longer want to hold on to on a piece of paper and safely burning that, then once you've done your releasing rituals, to then do your manifestation and intention setting rituals. It's also going to be, again, just like a regular full moon, a good time to cleanse your crystals, except the energy you put out on the blue full moon will last for 3 years. So we need to be really mindful that what we're putting out is for the highest good for ourselves and also for everybody else as well, because it will ripple out. Whatever you put out to the universe, you will get back. Like, you get what you give, basically. So it's really, really creative energy when it's the blue moon. So that's what a blue moon is. Now, this year's blue moon is falling on Halloween, which makes it even more magical, because Halloween's the most magical day of the year. So the energy that you're putting out on this year's blue moon, it's like 100-fold. So again, let's really take some time to feel and think about what we want to be manifesting and attracting from now to the next 3 years. What are your goals? What do you want to be achieving during that time? Also, what do you want to let go of now? Like, what do you want to get rid of now as well? So this blue full moon is also can be called the Hunter's full moon. So I'm in Australia, so I'm in the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, particularly in America, I believe, the full moon closest to the autumn equinox, which would have been in September, is the moon about harvest and celebrating a harvest, and it's time to harvest. Now, this full moon is called Hunter's full moon because apparently it's the best time to go hunting in the moonlight. I don't condone hunting, but I did just want to mention that is another name for this blue full moon. So people might refer to it as a hunter's full moon. So Halloween is occurring, as it always does, for us anyway recently, the 31st of October. So that is occurring in Scorpio season. So that's when the sun is in the sign of Scorpio. So Scorpio is the fixed water sign out of the zodiacs, and Scorpio brings us energy of transformation, of change, of death, of rebirth, and rebirth is just another way of saying like life as well. So it's death and life. Scorpios I find to be very mysterious. Shout out to Scorpios, love you guys. So I also have some tarot cards that relate to Scorpio. So Scorpio's tarot card is death, and that number is number 8. So I'll just show you some cards here. So this card here, as you can see, we have got this person here. They're mourning something or someone that has passed over. And death here, he's in his heart center because he's green. So while this person is mourning and they're, not looking on the bright side, they're molding into the background, death is actually looking at new life that's glowing here. Because death in tarot is almost always like some form of a grim reaper, perhaps riding a horse, or there's a horse there. And then also new growth and new life is usually always depicted as well, which is really symbolic of Scorpio. And it's the card number 8 as well. I also symbolize Scorpio with like a snake or a phoenix, like shedding their skin, because they like to transform so much and change themselves and change what's going on. And also with phoenix, like burning yourself down to ash and rising above out of that. And this next card really, whenever I see it, I just think, oh, phoenix. So this is another death card here in tarot. And as you can see here, death is riding his horse. He's got the flower depicted on his flag. Not only that, there's a young boy here, so like young life, holding flowers, new life. So it's all about the cycle, really, of death brings life. Then I also wanted to talk a little bit about Taurus. So Taurus is the fixed earth zodiac. So Taurus brings us energy of stubbornness, no hate, I'm a Taurus, guys. Divine connection, like being able to connect to the divine. Tradition, part of being stubborn as well, I guess. You want to keep things in tradition. Being consistent, education as well, and also manifestation. Taurus is one of the best signs to manifest what you want into physical reality, which is really, really cool. So I'll show you some tarot cards of Taurus. So the Taurus tarot card is the Hierophant, which is number 5. So this one here, as you can see, this is like, looks like a man of God. And usually the Hierophant is depicted holding this special tool here, which helps to connect to the divine. And this card's really quite simple. I quite like this card, it's beautiful. Then we have this card here, which is called the High Priest, but still the Hierophant. So again, holding that symbol, they're usually depicted doing this hand symbol, like connecting to God. Traditional priest clothing here. And then I'll also show this one, it's from a different deck. So as you can see here, there's a Hierophant, he's doing his symbols, holding his tools. And then people are actually coming to this person for divine wisdom or education as well. That's another thing that this card and Taurus are connected with. So to me, the biggest difference between Taurus and Scorpio is that Scorpio loves transformation, love going through forms of rebirth. They really welcome change into themselves and into their life, which is really nice. While Taurus tends to welcome familiarity and kind of resist change a little bit. So that's their two main differences to me. Now these signs are actually opposite on the zodiac wheel. So most people, I've noticed, say that when signs are opposite, it means that they're polarized and they're exactly opposite. But I don't see it that way. To me, it actually resonates that when signs are opposite on the zodiac wheel, to me that just means that they're like yin and yang of each other. Like the sun and the moon, they're opposite, yet they balance each other out. We need both of those. So to me, people who have a Scorpio sun sign or very heavy Scorpio in their birth chart, they will have like a little dash of Taurus in them. The same for Taurus. If you're a Taurus sun sign or you've got a lot of Taurus in your chart, you'll have a little dash of Scorpio in you as well. Okay, so now I'll go more into how Scorpio and Taurus are yin and yang of each other and how I feel. Just that makes a little bit more sense to you guys. So Scorpio loves change, Taurus usually don't. So Taurus is also a symbol of Mother Earth, and Taurus is also very deeply connected to the Earth and the seasons and changes that the Earth goes through. So in that way, Taurus do like change. It's just more so a change that is consistent and perhaps almost, you're expecting for it to happen, but within that, Taurus is involved with change itself, and quite dramatic change. The seasons changing is quite dramatic. That really affects the earth, us, the oceans, everything, our life. The animals can go hibernate during certain seasons. So Taurus is connected to change in that way. Then Scorpio is a symbol of the underworld. So they relish in change and resist consistency. However, when someone is always looking for ways to transform themselves, that's a form of being consistent. Because you're consistently perhaps looking or wanting to change. So that's a form of being consistent. That's how I see them as being yin and yang of each other. Okay, so now we'll move on to what other energies and planets will be affecting this blue full moon in Taurus. So there's always something going on with each and every planet at every given time, no matter what. So I'm not going to go into everything because it is a lot, and this would be like a 2-hour video, I think, if I did that. So I'm just going to go by what I intuitively feel like I need to share and express with everyone. So while the moon is in Taurus, I believe it's in Taurus about 8 degrees. Uranus will be in Taurus about 8 degrees as well. So both those planets are in Taurus, almost pretty much the exact same degree. They're both a little over 8 degrees. I'm not quite sure to the decimal point what it is, but they're both in 8 degrees. So they're very, very, very connected at this time. Now Uranus is the planet that brings us unexpected change, which can be nice. It can also give us great spiritual awakenings about ourselves, about our life, just about things in general as well. So we have that energy going on. So we've got a few opposing energies. So of course Scorpio being in the Sun opposes Taurus being in the Moon being in Taurus. We've got transformation, Scorpio, consistency with Taurus, then shocking spontaneity with Uranus being in Taurus. And we also have a Scorpio Mercury retrograde going on at this time as well, which, you know, we love Mercury retrograde. That's always fun, isn't it? Communication spiraling down. Best. So because the Mercury retrograde will be in Scorpio, that basically means that we might be feeling defensive or perhaps secretive about our emotions and not wanting to express ourselves in that way, which is quite interesting. But then the Moon in Taurus will make us want to speak our emotional truth because it's in the Moon, which is our emotions, and Taurus is rules the throat chakra, which is us, you know, speaking. Or sometimes you can connect the throat chakra to also what you're thinking, because you can speak to yourself in your mind as well. So to balance out this craziness, Venus, thank God, has gone into Libra. So that will bring us some balance and hopefully some harmony to our relationship with ourselves and our relationship with others. So, okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. So, what energy will the blue full moon in Taurus be bringing us? So during Scorpio season, this blue full moon in Taurus is reminding us that just 3 birds just went by. Sorry, 3 is my favourite number. And it was 3 was on my timer. Sorry. Just little 3 more birds. Okay, thank you. Just little synchronicities for me. So this blue full moon in Taurus is just making us aware that the only constant thing in life is that things change. People change, we change, everything changes, the seasons, like just everything at some point in time changes. So that's what that's really bringing us. So if you're going through any kind of like painful cycle right now, sweethearts, that's going to change. Everything changes, that'll blow over, that will pass. Good times are coming, okay? So during this powerful time, the sun in Scorpio will bring what we've been keeping hidden to light. Because remember, Scorpio is a symbol of like the underworld, like what's underneath, what are you keeping hidden? What emotions are you keeping hidden? So the sun will illuminate that within us, like what are you hiding? It'll bring it to light, kind of bring our own personal secretive underworld to light. If that makes sense. So Uranus in Taurus is giving us energy to push through and to really transform, because Taurus can be quite stubborn. So and if we're not really giving into what we need to change, the universe will just find a way to make it happen for you. And also the Uranus and Taurus energy will be we'll be uncovering shocking revelations about ourselves or about other people or just about things in our life. We'll be getting a lot of really intense spiritual downloads during this time as well. So Taurus is also the zodiac that is really good for manifesting. And this full moon in Taurus will bring our attention to what we have been manifesting and how we've been manifesting it. So everyone that's alive, we are all creators of our own world. Like you are the creator of your universe. Sorry, I'm actually just getting really hot. The sun's kind of going down heaps. I'm just going to bring that closer. That doesn't help with the heat. Why did I do that? Okay, anyway. So all of us are creators here of our own universe. You're the center of your own universe, and what you do does ripple out to other people who you would consider to be a part of your universe. But every thought you have, every action you have directly affects who? You. So you're the creator of your own universe in that way. So Uranus might be bringing a shocking revelation to a lot of people that, yeah, you're the creator of your own universe. And by that I mean on Halloween or near Halloween, as an example, let's just say you're in a relationship and you've had a bad day and you're just grouchy at that person. They've done nothing wrong, but you're just grouchy, and you say to yourself, oh, this is too much to handle, I don't want this right now, go away. Next minute, everything was going great and fine, that person worshipped you. Next minute, they want to break up with you, and you're like, why did that happen? You manifested it, didn't you? So be really careful about what you're thinking, how you talk to yourself, and what you're saying to other people as well. Really, really important. So I've just got some notes just so I don't forget what I'm talking about. Also, because of the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, we might be lashing out as well. So really try not to do that. This will also be bringing us a heightened awareness of just how powerful we are as manifestors in our life. And if you've been putting off change, then the universe will do things to make the change happen as well. Sorry, I just had to pause and pull the blinds because that sun, that was getting me. I was getting so hot. I think because I'm wearing black as well. So what was I saying? So if you're resisting change, the universe will put you in situations to force you to make that change or to make the change happen for you. Now, the universe is always working for us, not against us. So the changes need to be made. However, it'll run smoother. I promise you, it'll run so much smoother if you just make the change yourself. Now, you also may have, because the veil's thin in Halloween, you may have your ancestors or your guides like whispering to you, like, oh, why haven't you done that yet? Why haven't you made that change? Why haven't you resolved that? Why haven't you done this? So you might hear a lot of people trying to give you advice. Pay attention to that. Please pay attention to that. Okay, so how can we use these energies of the blue full moon and Taurus to our advantage, to propel ourselves forwards? So if you're feeling called to make a change in your life, do it. Transform yourself. You can do it. In any way. If you're wanting to change your job, maybe change how you react towards things, maybe change from being single to being in a relationship, or maybe you want to get out of a relationship, maybe you want to, change house, anything, whatever you're feeling called to change, work towards that and make that happen for yourself. Okay? This is also the best time. This is a really, really good time of the year to make change and make it successful as well. So keep that in mind. It's a really good time to use this energy to connect to our guides and to connect to our ancestors through meditation or through any means that you intuitively feel like you need to be doing. It's the best time of the whole year to manifest. Please set intentions, please manifest, please release. This is the most powerful day of the year because it's Halloween. Plus we've got a blue full moon, which is the best day to make your wishes and dreams come true. It's insane. I'm pretty sure the last time we had a blue full moon full on Halloween was 20 years ago, or maybe more. So a really long time. So this is rare. So please do use this to your advantage. Realize that you are a creator of your own world and use it to your advantage. Manifest and set intentions for what you're wanting. Also, to cleanse your body and to release yourself of what is no longer serving you. Also, if you have any crystals that can be cleansed, all crystals can be cleansed. Also a good time to cleanse your crystals because it'll give them such magical energy because it's a blue full moon on Halloween. Please do that. You'll notice a difference in your crystals. So basically, the best way to use this energy to your advantage is to release and cleanse yourself. I really would also advise once you've done your releasing, like, you know, you've written down what you want to release and you've burnt it or whatever else you do, have a shower, cleanse your body completely, cleanse your mind, cleanse everything, do a meditation. And once you've done that, then start setting your intentions for what you want to bring into your life. So just a little recap, the new moon is about setting intentions and new beginnings. The full moon is about balance and releasing what no longer serves you, to cleanse yourself. A blue moon is a magical full moon when there's 2 full moons in the 1 month. It's a magical full moon to attract and manifest your dreams and wishes. So we are currently still in the energy of the Libra super full moon, which was on the 16th of October. So set your intentions tonight, tomorrow night. You don't have to wait until the blue full moon to set your intentions. You can do it every single night leading up to, and then the next 2 nights after. I would recommend do that as well, because the energy does linger on. Then on the blue full moon, you can both do your releasing rituals and your intention and manifestation rituals as well. And again, the blue full moon in Taurus is falling on Halloween, so it's the most magical day of the year. The veil is so thin between realms, meaning that what you manifest will energetically be carrying on until the next blue full moon, which will be in about 3 years' time. So it's a really magical time, and I really hope that everyone has a fantastic All Hallows Eve, and that everyone stays safe, and that everyone feels love, and that everyone does take the time to look after themselves. And by that I mean by cleansing and releasing what doesn't serve you,